Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of a late night screen review. This time we're talking about Ghostbusters, Frozen Kingdom. How many characters there are? What's going on?
For the first time in New York history, a room full of people froze to death in July.
It's an unimaginable evil with the power to kill by fear itself.
Like, literally scared to death?
So, Ghostbusters Frozen Kingdom was directed by Jill Kennan and is released in all major theatres nationwide in the UK from the 22nd of March, I think. So, go check it out. Do you want to check it out? So, what's the story? I haven't got a bed sheet. I was going to do the whole... So, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire tells the story of the Spengler family from the last movie, from Afterlife. So you've got Mama Spengler, you've got Stepdaddy Spengler, Paul Rudd Spengler, and then you've got the brother and sister Spengler, and they're all living in the old Ghostbusters firehouse. That's right, it's back, baby. We're in New York this time. We're not out in the sticks. That's a positive, I guess. The old Ghostbusters are doing other jobs, and I think it's Winston is running the big Ghostbusters Corp, where it's this huge organisation behind the scenes where they're coming up with new Ghostbuster tech and kind of evolving the Ghostbuster brand, I guess. And then a mysterious object is found by Ray in his weird bookstore, and it unleashes a cosmic evil. Have we seen this story before somewhere? So, what did I think of the movie? I'm getting better at ventriloquism. Haha! Woo! Oh! Okay, guys, so here's the thing. Very quick review of this movie. I don't want to kind of beat around the bush at all. So Ghostbusters, massive Ghostbusters fan, the original Ghostbusters, and I'm going to be honest, even Ghostbusters 2, I enjoy it. It's a lesser film, but I enjoy that movie. And also the Ghostbusters animated TV show from I think it's from the late 80s, early 90s. A massive, massive fan, and nothing that ever happens will ever take those films away from us fans. And that's what you got to keep in mind when you go see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, because it is a rough ride, folks. It is a rough ride. I basically hated this film. There it is. I think I've never been more disappointed in a movie since, I guess, The Rise of Skywalker. And in many ways, this film is almost like a companion piece to Rise of Skywalker in all the worst ways. It's basically studio interference, the film. It's filmed by committee. It's throw everything at the wall and just hope that something sticks. That at least the fans will clap and cheer when they see the iconography. Oh, there's the ghost house. Oh, there's the car. Oh, there's Slimer. Oh, great. And that's the movie. If you want to go to the cinema and see a film that has a plot, really interesting, engaging characters, and a narrative that just keeps coming and unraveling, then don't go see this movie. It has none of those things. I spent a lot of my time in this film really confused. I spent a lot of my time, every time something was happening, and it was happening all the time, I was just questioning it. Like, well, hold on, why is that happening? And who's he? And where's she come from? And why is that there? Because that wasn't there a minute. And it just kept building up until I almost had some sort of anxiety attack. This film just keeps throwing stuff at you. There is no real story. The plot is bare minimal, and there's a million characters. So obviously the story takes place. It's a sequel to Afterlife, which is a film that I didn't enjoy that much anyway. But on reflection, it's a lot better than this movie. At least that film tried to have a bit of emotion and soul, whereas this one doesn't at all. I'll get to that. The Spengler family, you come into the Spengler family, they're now the new Ghostbusters. So straight off the bat, they are chasing a ghost at the beginning of the film through New York City. And it's a huge ghost. And it's this huge thing, and they're driving in the car down the streets of New York, and it's all this crazy stuff's happening straight off the bat. So we've got no time to kind of slowly build up to anything, or mysterious, or creeping, or maybe even just a little bit scary, and building up a story, building up something that's gonna happen. No, just straight out of the gate. Why is the mum a Ghostbuster? What science background does she have? What interests does she have? No, we don't answer any of that. She's just a Ghostbuster now. the son is a Ghostbuster, but seems really uninterested in what he's doing and unscared, unfascinated by the fact that they're chasing a giant ghost through the city. And the daughter's there, who is, 14, 15 years old at this point? Why is she a Ghostbuster? And those are the 4 new Ghostbusters. I just don't understand it straight off the bat. Other than Paul Rudd's character, who's a science teacher or an ex-science teacher and has a passion for this stuff, that kind of makes sense. But every other character, it doesn't even make sense that they are even Ghostbusters. So straight off the bat, I was just spiraling and going, oh my God, what is this nonsense? Not to mention the fact that really bad parenting from these 2 adults in this team for letting the other 2 members of the team, basically who are underage children, take part in a really dangerous job. They might as well be in the army or the police force or something. It's really crazy. And because it starts off the bat so huge and bombastic and a huge set piece, it starts off that way. Straight away, the realism is just ripped away. And I was talking to somebody about this the other day, that yes, Ghostbusters is silly. Yes, it's a comedy. Yes, it's about capturing ghosts. But there's got to be a baseline level of realism. We have to feel like there's some jeopardy, like there's some fascination, like there's some, maybe, dare I say it, some scares. And none of that is present in this film at any point. And I mean, straight off the bat, it isn't there. And it never gets any better from there. It just gets worse, if anything. The old Ghostbusters, they're all doing their own things, and we don't see them throughout the movie. They are just thrown in at random. Characters just come in and pop in out of this movie when they weren't even introduced. In every step of the film, there are children. There are 2 children in the Ghostbuster team. That's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense. There's a child who lives in the basement at Ray's shop, his bookstore. He lives in the basement. He's like an intern, and yet he's lied to his parents in order to be there. So this child has no relation to Ray at all, and is lied to his parents and is living in his basement helping Ray out with all the occult books and things. And he's underage too. I think he's like 15 or something. The big ghost corp where Winston has started up, where they're developing new tech, there's a child intern who's like maybe 18. And then other than that, it's just fan service. It's the car, it's Slimer, it's Janine, the secretary and from the original movie. It's all the old cast, but they're just kind of thrown in like cameos. They bring nothing to the movie. They act and behave strangely. Their dialogue is written so cardboard cutout, like it's just what you think a fan would think Ray would say in that instance. There's no real development. They just kind of say little quips and things like that, and then that's the movie. The big bad guy is a big CGI nightmare, and it looks like something straight out of, I don't know, like a Dungeons and Dragons, or just like the original Ghostbusters cartoon. And some people might enjoy that, but for me, it just takes me straight out of the movie. Apparently, behind the scenes, there are loads of practical special effects made, a la The Thing, the remake, and they just really didn't bother putting it in the film, as far as I could see. The story is just nothing. It's as bog standard story as possible. It focuses more on the children than it does the adults. The adults just behave strangely. And a lot of the time, which is even more frustrating, a lot of the characters call this stuff out. They say, hold on, how come there are children working at the Ghostbusters? Why is that happening? Hold on, why did you take that person there? Because they're a minor and they're going to get hurt. And the audience, at least me, I was saying, yeah, why are you doing that? That's ridiculous. That's stupid. It's just absolutely a nonsensical ride that is purely aimed at super uber fans of the Ghostbusters franchise that want to see the Ghost Corps franchise, I guess, flourish. But for me, who's more interested in really good story and really good characters, I was bored and a little bit insulted by this film. And I hadn't felt that way since The Rise of Skywalker, which is exactly, it might as well have been made by the same filmmakers, because they're basically just companion pieces. If you love Rise of Skywalker and that huge jumbled mess, you're going to love this movie. Look, if you don't take film seriously and you're not that bothered and it's just a bit of fun and maybe take the kids for a bit of entertainment, sure, there's going to be things in there you're going to enjoy. If you really care about story, about characterization and good quality like storytelling, you're going to hate this movie. If you're a hardcore Ghostbusters fan, but you also want to see something of quality, you're gonna, I would think, hate this film. I hated this movie. I left the theatre in a worse mood than when I went in, and for me, that's the biggest knock to any movie, that you're supposed to, you're supposed to be able to go there and be entertained, and I really wasn't. I was bored and slightly insulted by the just kind of throw everything at the screen and hope something sticks attitude. Hey, why is Slimer in the attic? We don't know. We don't know why he's there. Why is the young boy, the son, more obsessed with driving, learning to drive, than being in the Ghostbusters? I don't know. Why is everybody in the movie so willing to put children in danger? I don't know. Why are the children the main focus? I don't know. Why did the two kids towards the end of the movie go up to the top of the roof just to literally come straight back down again? We don't know, and nor do the filmmakers. And to me, that's a big problem. That's a really big problem. Yeah, it's not a recommend from me. This is probably like one of the worst reviews I've ever done in terms of this kind of stuff. I'm a really big fan of the original Ghostbusters film, but I'm also open for a film being good. Films can be good. There are franchises that I still think are okay, a la Scream, for example. It's not that I'm a negative Nancy. It's just that this film is genuinely terrible. It's lazily written. It's just throw everything at the wall and hope you guys will clap and go, ha ha, yay! If you're insulted by that kind of attitude, like I am, then you're going to hate this movie, and I just don't recommend you go see it. But again, if you've got kids out there and you're not that fussed, by all means, it's just another popcorn crunching movie, and you'll probably be entertained, at least to some extent, by it. So there's that, I guess. Yeah, it's really disappointing for me, but that's the review of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So until next week, guys, stay safe, stay scared, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.